Do you know that person who always goes into the room and suddenly the entire energy shifts? Everyone starts looking at them and everybody wants to speak to them. And when you start to speak to others, they just turn their body language away from you and their eye contacts are shivering around the room. That's why in today's video I will show you 4 stages of charisma so you can understand where you are on your journey and how to improve alongside with other people. Quick shout out to Charisma on Command. If you have not seen this video where he explains the 4 stages of charisma, I really like that video and I highly recommend it. But nonetheless, I will now go and talk about those 4 stages in much greater detail. That means my name is Martin, if you don't know me, and I have 30 plus friends in my local gym, and I have studied charisma and communication skills for 3 years straight. Here's my emotional intelligence test, and I've helped clients just like you to achieve charisma mastery. That's why let's start with the first one. The first stage of charisma is the victim mindset. The victim mindset is representable throughout doing nothing, throughout having beliefs that don't serve you whatsoever. Most people are in this category. My channel, thank God, doesn't attract these types of people because these types of people don't want to become more charismatic and they have beliefs like charisma is only about being attractive and charisma is only got to people who were born with it, and leadership is a skill that cannot be learned. You need to be born with it. That's why these people are extremely unattractive, because they have this victim mindset that they need to be born with everything. Like God creates perfect people. Doesn't make sense. And they approximately create 50% of the population. To get out of this stupid and disgusting category, you need to first realize that charisma is actually learnable. And it is not about your looks, it is not about some external factors, it is only about you. And if you know how to change yourself, you will know how to be charismatic. Charisma are just series of behaviors. And tell me, can you change a behavior? Yes, you can. That's why we'll go to the second one, the control. The control is categorized if you actually want to improve charisma. You understand that some things can be said differently. You understand that some things should not have to be said, and you understand that some things should have been said. This is, again, a large portion of people on this world, on this planet. But still, these types of people overthink a lot in their mind. They think like, oh, should I say this? Should I say that? We have all been in that situation when we wanted to speak to someone and we were like, what am I gonna say? Should I say this or should I do that? How can I make them interested in me? It is normal. But to improve through this stage, you need to learn things that will make you more charismatic. Example, go to the first link in the description, and this is my program where you can join, and I will have all of the courses right here. It is just, where can I find this? It is just $50 lifetime, so you can just save your entire life and become the most charismatic version of yourself. And after you learn everything that I have in my courses, in my coaching, then you move literally to the flow, because this transition right here needs to occur when you have the knowledge and when you know how to implement that knowledge with doing nothing. You go from the controlled to the flow by just knowing that, oh, I now know the knowledge. So now I'm confident that I can be more of myself with this knowledge. The control guys, they overthink a lot. Let's be honest. But when they stop overthinking and they have still the knowledge, that's when they enter flow. And this is where I am right now. I can honestly tell you 95% of my conversations throughout, let's say, the entire month are just me being in the flow state. It's nothing else, nothing more. The difference between this is that these people understand that they need to say stuff and they need to say them differently, but they get stuck in their own mind. The flow person understands that they need to say things differently and right, but they don't get stuck in their own mind. They are not analyzing, they are present in the moment. And I would say this is probably 9% of the entire population. Now, see, we are getting really, really close. The 9% is because the 1% are the next one. And I know the transition, but it is not as easy as it seems. That's why the flow state are people who understand the knowledge how to be charismatic and how to say or not say certain things, but they are just present. They will stay with you, they will understand your emotions, they will show empathy, but they are not getting stuck in their own mind. They are focusing on the other person and they are there, present. That's the flow state. But now, the only category where I have been in just for one day, I have been in the unity in just for one day. That's how insane this category is. And because I have been in this state for only one day, I was able to gather a lot because I have never hit the unity of charisma in my entire life. But just 1 week ago, I have achieved unity. Just to give you context, I have been on this amazing camp with a lot of Christians. And listen, there was no work there, no stress, no nothing, just people having fun. And that's when I realized that the unity of charisma doesn't really come from things like external status, money, blah, 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 blah. It just comes from you not committing any sinful act. I'm gonna repeat that again so you can understand. The unity of charisma is achieved when you hit the flow state and when you internally understand that you are just doing nothing wrong. Nothing. In those 5 days of me being on that camp, I have not ever in those 5 days had a thought to sin. I never ever felt greedy, prideful, lustful, whatever you can think of. I didn't do anything. I did not commit sloth. I did not commit gluttony where I indulged on social media for hours. I was just present with people without any sinful thoughts or behaviors. And I hit this for one day only. That's how rare this is, because it is the closest you can come to being perfect in your human body. Yes, there was a lot of God and spiritual presence on that camp. And I also need to give shout out to that, because that is what made my unity of charisma. Those people around me. Because if I did not have any people there, I would not achieve this incredible state of unity. And just to describe this unity state even further to you, it is a state where you feel internally pure. Nothing else. You internally are grateful to God where you ended up in. You feel no 7 deadly sins. You feel no urge to lie, no ignorance. You don't feel any harmful action towards the world. Zero. You just feel like the version of yourself that you always needed to be and you always wanted to be. And that is unity. And I have hit it only for one day. There is another camp coming in approximately 2 weeks. So I'll update you if I hit the unity again. That is not to say that money and status and other things are not important. Because to be honest, if I was not caring about money whatsoever, then I would not be here helping you. Because I would not be sharing my passion for external profit. That means unity is a state where you feel pure. Without any mask that is on your face. Just without any sin, wrath, gluttony, lust whatsoever. It is just you being the most purest version of yourself that you can ever be. That's what I hit for one day. Maybe not even one day, maybe for like 12 hours. That is the unity. And of course, you need to go through all of these stages. You need to go through a victim, to the controller, That sounds very bad. To the person who has the flow state, and only then you can hit unity. You cannot just go from I'm a victim and then I'm in unity. No, that doesn't work. Just at the end of this video, I want to again draw attention to my courses and my coaching calls. So if you again want to just be there for $50 lifetime, I again repeat this, and get access to literally everything when it comes to charisma. Mastering conversations, oral listening, speaking, body language, confidence, friendships, how to be funny, humor, storytelling, leadership, persuasion, everything. Then click the first link in the description and I'll see you right there. Live a happy life.